Hello coders! Hello. I've literally just grabbed myself a cup of tea. I'm not prepared for this at all. I should have streamed a bit later, I think, to prepare. What I want to do is work on the subscription stuff. Yes, so that's what we want to do today. I'm sorry, I'm having to context switch a lot because I've literally just booted up this machine. So yes, subscription is what we're going to work on today. I want to rebuild a portion of it. Well, actually the majority of it, because it's tightly coupled to the orders. The website I'm talking about here is the How to Code Well site. Let's lay down some context. So previously, when a subscription was made, when a user registers and they are a monthly or a yearly user, then an order gets created, an order item gets added to that, which is the subscription, and then that gets associated to the current subscription against the user. It was working all well and good until I started developing the cancellation process, and I did this last, I want to say it was Sunday. It seems so far away, but I think it was Sunday on Twitch when I was doing it. And I discovered that there was a tight coupling between the order items and the subscription. And because when you cancel a subscription, you go from being a premium user to a free user, and there was no way of disconnecting the current order item that was associated to the subscription. And so I found this code smell, this architectural issue. So what I'm going to do today is break it and try and get it into a stable position for the coming evenings when I start to, amend it. Basically, what I want to do is break the connection between an order and a subscription. They should be two very separate things. So, if I was to show you, for some more context, this is literally how I left it on Twitch when I was discovering these issues. So when I I want to rebuild the subscription maker, which is our service, and it's throwing this exception because the current ID, which is the ID of the current order item, cannot be null, and therefore a subscription needs to be associated to an order, and there's no orders when you are a free user. When you've got a free account, that's where the problem lies. So to get around this, what I started doing on, I think it was Sunday evening, I started rebuilding the maker, and then sort of I ran out of time, and I discovered that I was actually overcomplicating it. I wanted to create a premium subscription maker and a free subscription maker, and they would take very different paths. Well, it turns out that they actually take the same set of paths, and I can condense it down and simplify it. So what we're going to do is just delete this and start again. What I've done, so I'm going to just remove this. Bye-bye. Just remove the whole block. There we go. And also in subscription.php, what I did do is I removed, if I did a git, can we do a diff, or can I just do I guess what I could do is just show a commit. Here we go. Can we show a diff on that? Yeah, we can. Yeah. So this was the current order item. So this was the coupling. This was the coupling between the order item and the subscription. So I've removed it. So I've removed that, and I've also removed the accessor methods for that. And also, if I scroll down here, I believe I added the start date and the end date. Are those set as properties? Yes, they are set as properties. Sorry, I didn't see that. Yeah, so these are set as properties. So this is going to be quite a massive change to this entity, and because there's already tests around setting up a subscription, I'm going to break a whole load of code, and I don't really know yet how much code I'm going to break. So the first thing I'm going to do is run the migration, or generate the migration, then run the migration, and then run the tests, see what I've broken, fix the tests, and then we'll get it to that stable point. Actually, what I'm thinking of now is, because we removed the subscription, this is what I was trying to do, basically create another record that held the period start and period end, and I'm just basically removing this. So I wonder if I can just remove this entity, because this entity doesn't make any sense now. It extends the order item, so the order item is here. Now I'm wondering if we're extending it via where are we? It is subscription order report. No, that's fine. Order item. I'm sure there was a. Here we go. Inheritance type single table. Yeah, so I added a bunch of Doctrine stuff around this to allow this entity to be extended. And I think that has overcomplicated it. So I think we can probably have this as the concrete base class, and then remove that. Perhaps what I should do is do this bit by bit, because it's quite. What I'm proposing here is a lot of change. So what I think I'm going to do is do this in increments. That's probably easier, right? So I'm going to write this down, because another thing is I don't know if I've got enough time to actually finish this in this stream. So let me go back to my issues and have a look. So rebuild the subscription maker for free accounts. That was investigate what happens. That's a spike that I've put in. Update a payment method. Yeah, okay. Okay. That's what we were doing on Twitch. So I think maybe I should do it in here. I think what I'm going to do is edit this. Instead of call it rebuilds, because I haven't put any commits to this, I think I will call this rebuild subscription entity, or alter subscription entity. Let's save that. So this is what we're working on at the minute. And I think what I'll do is I'll edit this. So at the moment, blah, 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 that's fine. This is all valid stuff, but it's in the to-do stuff. So we're actually not going to create these. I've deleted those. Rewire the subscription get current method. No, that's not going to happen anymore. So we are going to add, what did I start date? So I'm just documenting add end date, and I'll tick them off as I go. Add start date, add end date. What was the other thing I needed to do? Remove current. Okay, once that's done, we then create migration. Create migration, and then fix tests. Fix unit tests. Fix acceptance tests. There we go. Right, that should be it. So now I can use this to tick off these things. So I'll do update comment here. I'm also going to put this into, let me see if I can find it. We have a project for the site. And I'm going to put this in doing. So where is the backlog here? Can I search for, is open, what did I call that? Alter subscription entity. Can I find alter subscription entity, yeah, and I'm going to bung that in doing. This means that when I'm come back to this, because I really don't know if I'm going to be able to complete this, especially the tests in this stream. Once I, excuse me, once I can see that that's the only thing I'm doing, and my work units are set to 2, although I probably should set that to 1 at this stage. So if you're aware of what Kanban is, you set your work in progress limits. So this means I can only work on one task at a time, which makes sense. All right, so that's good. Right, so we've already created that, and removed current. Let's go over and just double check those things. So we've added the end date, the start date, and we've removed the current. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so now we're going to create the migration. So let me remind myself how I do all this. See, told you I wasn't prepared. I haven't even got the terminal running. I don't even know if the site's running at the moment. Let's have a look. Let's go to here. Let's go to docker eval. Well, let's just type in eval. No, different keyboard to the one I've been using all day. There we go. Nothing's running. Okay, so docker machine start how to code well dev. I do apologize for jumping about today. I've and not being on it. I've been doing a lot of reading of documentation and investigation work today for various things, and so a big portion of my brain is still there. so I'm having to I'm trying to remember where I left on Sunday on this. All right, so let's do an eval. Let's evaluate the shell again to load the virtual machine into the current shell, and then let's do, first up, let's just make sure everything's running. Docker compose up -d. We'll bring up the site and all the things. Am I running in Bash? Or no, I am running in item. I can do this. Yeah, I can. Okay. Right, so the first thing I need to do is get into the actual shell, into the actual container. Okay, that's annoying. That is the right name, Docker Bash. Okay, maybe I think I need to do it through compose. So we don't have the IT on that. Does that work? No, it doesn't. Okay, fine. I think the containers are a bit wonky. Where are the PHP website app? Oh, it's app. There we go. Right, back in the room. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I cannot remember this command off the top of my head, so we'll do bin console. It's something like my xdebug mode is invalid. That shouldn't be a problem. I think it's like Doctrine my status or diff or something. I can never remember what it is. It's one of these things, isn't it? Let's do status. So that should give me the actual status of the current setup. So it looks like we've got 16 built. All right, so let's do diff to create the difference. Marvelous. So that should have created a migrations file in here, which it has done. And let me just read this for a minute. This is quite important. So alter table subscription, we're dropping the foreign key, dropping the index, that looks fine. Then we're altering the table, adding the start date, defaulting that to null. Should we be doing that? Date times are correct. I'm just wondering about the defaults. I think that's fine. And then we're dropping the current ID. Yeah, I think that's okay. Let's go with that. So to do that, we now run migrate, right? Here we go. Yes. There's no act. Oh, right. This is the old transaction thing, isn't it? So I've discovered that to get around this, one needs to add this is transactional. I don't really know what this is doing, to be honest, but I did an upgrade of Doctrine, and ever since I've needed to do this, so I'm not entirely sure why is transactional is false, but anyway, I'm sure someone better than me will know. Hey, thank you for joining on. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, again. Thank you. I hope you're well. Hope you're doing good. It is raining outside. Here we go. Already at the latest version. What? Okay, maybe that has already ran. Fine. Let me just double check the old database, shall we? Let's just confirm that that is correct. So let me jump into the shell again. Let's cd into the website. Let's do MySQL and load the database, and then I think we need to use the database, how to code well, and then after that we need to describe the table which we're playing with, which is subscription. Is it subscription? Subscript? Have I just spelled that wrong? Subscription. Thank you. Okay, so we've got the ID, the plan ID, the updated date, creation date, active, Stripe subscription ID, cancelled date, start date, and end date. I think that's okay. So updated date will update automatically. Creation date will update as soon as the row has been added. So that's all handled automatically. And then the cancel date is the date in which the user has cancelled. That makes sense. The start date and the end date are defined when the subscription is either active or inactive. Okay, I think that is good. So I'm going to just jump out of the shell here. In fact, I'm just going to clear that down for a minute. Okay, so we've created the migrations file in here. Now, the next thing I need to do is probably fix the fixtures. So let's add that into our little task list. Otherwise, again, I don't know if I'm going to complete all of this. So let's remove current, create migration. So that's done. Underneath migration, we're going to add adjust fixtures. All right, so we've done the migrations. Next thing is to adjust the fixtures. So if I was to run the lovely fixtures script, which I believe if I do exit and then run make db test, is it? I never remember. Is it restore? Let me see. I can never remember. This is what happens when you work on different things. Right. Is it db? It's not reset. No, it's not dump either. It's right. So that's restoring it from the test file. I don't want to do that. Is it rebuild? Restore. No. It's not it's not db create. It's not that resets that drops it and then creates it. That restores it from a dump file. That's a db done. No, I don't want to do that either. Test rebuild. That does a test load. Test load does db. Where's test load? Where's that? Where does that live? Here. It runs the db rebuild script, and then after that it does the test backup. Yeah, there we go. That's what we need to do. The bin rebuild sh. Bin rebuild db rebuild. There we go. It drops the database, creates the database, migrates, runs the migration script, then loads the fixtures. Yeah, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. If I was to go down to the makefile again, is there a command that just does this? Test load. Yeah, let's run this. db test load. So back here, I want to do db test load. Here we go. I'm expecting this to fail. What it'll do, it'll drop the database. I hope. Create the database. That is what it's doing, right? Yes. Yes, it's just taking its time. Come on, man. There we go. Right, so it's dropped the database. It's creating the database. And then it's migrating from 0 all the way up. Then it's purging all the stuff. And then it's running the fixtures, and this is where it's failed. Subscription fixtures. Attempted to call undefined method set current. Yes. So now we need to fix our data fixtures, subscription fixtures. Here we go. Right. Okay. So somewhere in here, we're calling set current. Current. There we go. And obviously it doesn't exist now. So how do we work that through? This generates the orders, the order items, and we shouldn't be doing that at this stage. We should have an order fixture, which we don't have. So perhaps what I need to do is create a ticket. So adjust fixtures, adjust subscription. And we need to create order fixtures, because now we're decoupling the orders from the subscriptions, so we need to handle them separately. Okay. Right, so order item, where do you come through? Update subscription, order item gets built here. Creating the order summary, so that can disappear. In fact, what I'm going to do, no, that should just disappear. This should disappear as well. I'll have to rebuild those in a minute, but I've got them in the history. It should be fine. So then what we do is this is a Mac. I'm on a what am I on? It is a 2018 Mac Mini. That's what I'm on. Right, so get rid of all of this jazz. We don't need that anymore. Get rid of you. Jump into update subscription. Don't need this anymore. Don't need that. Don't need this, I don't think. Nope. Therefore, I don't need that. I do need creation date. No, I don't. Creation date is today, so that gets automatically set. So does that. Update subscription. Right, let me just step through this a sec. So that is our test of a bunch of stuff. Here we're creating, right, yeah, orders. Period start, period end. Right, that's the subscription plan. That is the price. That is the order status. Yeah, okay, so anything to do with order I don't want to have in here. So let's get rid of you and you. All of this can go. How many? I've probably got loads of these, right? Don't know. I don't think I need price. We'll just check. We'll, little bits at a time. Cut all this dead wood off. In fact, this should all be done in a YAML file rather than PHP. But anyway, that's beside the point. It's for another day, I think. Don't want to get too in the weeds. Go off on too many tangents. So now this is now moving into monthly stuff, so that can all go. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so we load, this order summaries. Okay, let's change that to be subscriptions. That's whether it's active or not. That's the subscription ID from Stripe. This is the, oh, I see. Oh, I see what I've done here. I've created, yeah, no, I don't need to do any of this actually. I've created like multiple subscriptions to give some history. Yeah, right. 02, 03. Yeah, these are like monthly. I don't need to do any of that. That can just go. What I'm concerned with is the end and the start dates for each one. So what I can do is I'm actually going to call it start date and end date. So the start date, this is what, free user. I did create this as nullable, right? Because if it's a free user, it's like you don't have an end date. It is null. Yes, that is cool. So in fact, when we get to here, we don't need any of this jazz. Because it's a free user. There's no like there is no. I can run that based on the creation date, can't I? Which is now. It's when we get to the monthly plans, it becomes an issue. So I can do that, and that becomes start. Well, I appear to have come offline. That's weird. Is the stream back? I don't know what happened there. The browser just died. Okay, so this is going to be start date. I'm calling these different just so I'm aware of the change when I get to the actual code. End date. So that's we start on the 3rd and we end on the 4th. So we start in March and we end in April. So I am going to need to know the plan, because the plan is on the subscription entity. So we get rid of that, which means that I'm going to need the plan up here as well. And that's going to be free. Same with that one and that one. In fact, when you're a free user, you don't have a Stripe ID because it's just free. So that can go. That can go, I think. Let me just double check that. Where would that be? Subscription. Stripe. Yes, it is nullable. Right, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, because if you're a free account, then you haven't paid for it, and therefore it's free. So you don't have a Stripe ID. Okay, so that's cool. That's simplified that a lot, which is nice. Okay, so let's spin down here. This is now called subscriptions. Yes, as data. So we grab the user from the reference, and the user is based on this here, which is a fixture that we've created previously, because if I scroll down here we can see that user fixtures are in. We don't need that anymore. Okay, so here we go. We don't have that anymore. We don't have that index anymore. In fact, we don't have any of this. We don't have any of this. It's just subscription equals new subscription, setting active, setting the Stripe ID if we've got it. So let's do if oh, come on. If is set, and then this is data Stripe ID. If is set. So if that is set, then we add it. If not, don't worry about it. We don't care about that. This loop. What we do care about is if is set. Excuse me. Data. What did I call it? Start date, didn't I? Start date. And these dates, they're not instances of date times. They are just okay, fine. All right. If is set start date, if is set end date. Oh, that looks good. Set the stuff. So this set. Oh no. It's subscription, isn't it? Subscription. Set. This is start date. It does require a date time, so we'll have to create it from the format. That's fine. It's not JavaScript. I do need those. So, just out of interest, how did I do? Was it just a date time object create from format when I did it earlier? Let me just have a look at the diff. Local history, show history. Right, this is all the stuff that we've just demolished, and that's going to be too big on my massive screen. Let's just bring it all in again. I shouldn't have done that, sorry. Come on. Bring it up. There we go. Oh, it's tiny. Right. So, yeah, we removed that. I'm looking for... It's not going to be that one, is it? When was the last save? Or the save that has the start date set current? Well, it's not going to be that one either. Let's have a look at this one. So we removed... Hang on, that's the current one. Yeah, I'm looking... There we go. Start date. Throw exception. Get reference. Nope. Start date. When is... Do I pass that in? No, I don't. Create from format. Yeah, I thought I did. Period start. Alright. Yeah, create from format. That's how I thought I would have done it. So let's create and then checked if that was the case. Okay. So let's put that into there. So that's now start date. that becomes start date into there, and then we just grab the same jazz, paste it into here, and that is end date. And that is end date is invalid, and then that becomes end date. And that is set end date. Good stuff. What else did we do? We added the plan. That's what we did. So this can all go away. In fact, we do need this, the persisting and the flushing, but the rest of this stuff can just be gone. So we'll get rid of that for now. Plan. That's what we needed to do. Plan. So let's do. We can do this up here, can't we? Do I need to get the plan? Set plan. Plan get reference. Here we go. There we are. Make sure it's all the same. Plan, 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 plan. Yep. Good. Which means that we can get rid of this. This should be grayed out. Anyway. So that doesn't matter anymore. Bye-bye. And I guess what we should do is create a reference for these things so we can use them later. So let's think about this. Do we have an ID? No, we don't. We don't have anything that is unique. We have the user that is unique. Yeah. Maybe we can use that. It's going to be a bit weird, but okay. So what I'm intending on doing, if I was to have a look at, say, this one, for instance, what we do is we create a reference, and then that means we can use that reference on another fixture. So I'm just going to do that in here, but we're going to have to, so this is subscription, we're going to have to use something that is unique to each one of these, and that's going to have to be the user, unfortunately. But it makes, I suppose it makes sense, doesn't it? So let's do subscription get hang on. Set user instance subscription. What am I doing with the user? Am I doing anything with the user? I mean, that needs to be subscription, not user. Am I doing anything with the user? Hang on a minute, I'm getting confused. Subscription. We don't have the user here, do we? No. But in our user entity, have I found another little architectural hiccup with this? If we go to user, we got all that jazz. Where's the subscription stuff? This is me having to refresh my memory because I've been working on so many different things. Let me think. Oh wait, it's a customer trait. There we go, subscription. Right, so it is a many to one. So many users have one subscription. Yeah. So we're not going to have that. We can still use the user though, because we've got it. So let's just do that. Let's just do that, and we'll worry about all of that stuff later. So let's do data, and then this comes user. All right, and then we want to add the reference to the entity that we've just created, which is that one there. Okay, I think that's ready to be ran. I think. Subscription plan fix. Yeah, we do need that. Okay, let me run that and see. I think we need to adjust the user, but let me just see the user fixtures. I'm not sure about this. Oh dear. User fixtures. Okay, so how do these work? This needs to be in YAML. That's why it's huge. That's fine. This is creating all the stuff. That's creating the profile, creating the contact, creating the user, creating the GitHub user, creating the Stripe customer, and then down here is to creating the subscription, which is neatly commented out. That's essentially what I've been doing, isn't it? But this is creating a new subscription current. Okay, maybe then. All right, solid. Let's just get rid of this because that doesn't make any sense now. I don't think we are creating anything to do with subscriptions on the user. No, we're not. All right, sod it. I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna run it and see what happens. So we'll jump into. No, we don't. We don't need to jump anywhere. We need to just run that and see what happens. This might be what I end up doing for the rest of the stream, just running the script and seeing, getting to the point where it actually runs. Right, so it's around about now it sort of falls on its face. It doesn't appear to have done. The thing that's concerning is I bet there's no reference to the subscription and the user. There's no connection there because the connection would have been through the current order item, but that's been removed now. So, oh dear. I'm gonna have to think about this. I'm going to dive into the database and just be 100% sure. I think that is the truth though, but let's just have a look. So if we did cd into there and we did MySQL and we ran use how to code well and then had a look at describe of user, we have the customer ID, subscription ID. That is what we need to adjust. I reckon if I did a select, let's do username. I bet this is null. If we did select username from user where subscription ID is not null, boom, I reckon that's going to be empty, which it is. Yeah, so I need to somehow from here I need to somehow update the user record. I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to change this song because it makes me feel like I need to go and have a pee. So, dropping of water. Yeah, so how do I do that? How do I... It's a bit of a chicken and egg here because I need to create the user fixtures. And then I need to, unless I break the connection, unless the connection is the other way around. So on the subscription entity, we have the user ID. It's not on the user entity. So instead of having the subscription ID as a foreign key on the user table, we do it on the subscription. That might that will probably cause a lot of breakage. I guess really what I should be doing is this, right? So once you got the user, we do user set subscription. I reckon this is it. We just update the user record from within this. So set subscription is subscription. Yeah, I reckon this is it. And then we do this manager persist, passing in the user this time. And then this manager flush. I reckon this is it. I reckon this could be it. What I'll do is I'll run the migrations again, and then we'll run this again, and we should see IDs or usernames of the users that we've just created up in here. If this works. Here we go. Purging of the database, doing all the things, dealing with the user fixtures, dealing with the subscription fixtures. Right, so let's rerun this. So select username from user where subscription ID is not null. Yes! Oh, would you look at that? That actually worked. Why is one null? That's weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it's gone in the same order, then that's user free, that's user monthly. User yearly, that's the GitHub user. This one is, so we have that one, which is this one. We've got the yearly one, which is oh, it's the GitHub user that doesn't exist. That's the null. Alright, okay, let me think about that. That's getting the user, right? Yeah, something's gone a bit screwy there. Let me just check the user's fixtures. I think GitHub. Let's just search for it. Yeah, here we go. That's the email address. Is it because it doesn't have a... Strange. I need to remind myself. Select all from user where email is equal to... Ugh. Didn't realize it's going to be that big. Let me just take it off stream so I can actually have a look. Massive screen helps right now. So we have the ID, the profile ID, the GitHub user ID. Not a Stripe customer ID though. Why is that? If we go to the Stripe, we have to go to here. Yes, because that is free. It's on the plan free, therefore it doesn't have the customer ID. It's got the subscription ID. It doesn't have a username. Ah, it's the username. Of course it is. It has the email, and the username is... So what was that command I ran here? It was select username from where subscription ID is not null from user. Okay, yes, it's fine. It's fine. It's because it is a... No, that's fine. It's a red herring. That's alright. It's just the way I've set up the GitHub user accounts. The usernames are actually put in a different table because they're GitHub users. Therefore, it's not on the actual user table in here. That's why. That's fine. Well, let's just... Yeah, that's fine. I'm confident. That is why. So just running that, then that seems to have all passed. Thing is, now I bet there's no order items for which user? Sorry, I'm going all over the place. For this one, which there needs to be, because you're a monthly user, you're a premium user, you know. There. So this is where we need to create an order fixture to line this up. Yeah. I think first up, what I'll do is I'll run the unit tests. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. Let's just come out of that for a sec. Because we've done a lot of change, code chan. Let's run the unit tests, fix anything that's failed, and then add the order fixtures. So in fact, what we can do is go back to here and go adjust subscription fixtures, done. Right, let's tell you what, first up, let's do git status. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We've done, don't worry about the code notes, subscription fixtures, user fixtures, subscription, and a migration. Let's do git diff, just to make sure we haven't done anything stupid. We have renamed that to subscriptions, that's fine. That's fine. That looks good to me. All good. Yep. Just whizzing through this. Yep. That was the is set. That looks good to me. Did I make sure that the start dates were in? Yeah. They were set to null. Let me just check that. Let's go back to. I shouldn't have got rid of that window. Sorry, I'm just going to jump back into the database and make sure that the start date and end date is correct, because we did change the name. Yeah, let's just do that. Sorry, I'm going to have to jump back in to everything again. And we'll do select all from subscription. So we had one that was a premium account. So we have, you can see the creation dates being created automatically. This one is not active. And we have that, and we got the start date and the end date. Why is that not active? Did I purposely set that to inactive? I did. Let's set that to active. Do I have any other monthly accounts that I could play with? Because that's probably going to break some acceptance tests, because I would have done that for a particular reason. Yeah, I would imagine we've got some more monthly accounts to screw around with. We have... that's new Stripe customer to be created. That is Stripe monthly new. We could play with that one. Is that the same one, though? Sorry, I'm going to have to jump back to here. 060521. Yeah, that. Okay, so we shouldn't touch that one. Let's see if that's the GitHub account. So these are all my test accounts, yearly. Monthly. Let's do monthly, because we've got a Stripe customer ID there. Okay, let's do that. So it is monthly one. So essentially what I need to do is stop pressing Command Tab to jump across different screens. This is why I have such a massive monitor. It's one of these ultra-wide Dell jobs. It covers the whole length of my screen, but because I'm streaming, I'm having to use a very small portion of it, like literally a quarter of the space, if that. And I'm automatically tabbing across to other windows when I really shouldn't be. Usually I just have all the windows open. Yeah, that's it. That's the badger. This one. So we'll set that to be true. We need to adjust that somehow. I'm going to have to discover what that is in Stripe. All right, I'm gonna remove this for now, and I'm going to create a task in here for later. So create order fixture, create active order fixture for, there we go. All right. Okay, so let's go back to this diff then. I think we're okay. The dates and times are in, that's good. Doesn't look bad, that's all right. Could do with a bit of refactoring there, but these are fixtures. You know, there's no massive gain on tidying these up. That was removing all that commented code. Now this is the subscription entity. So we've already seen this. This is removing the current, adding the columns for the end date and the start date. That looks good. There's the start date. There's the accessor methods. I think we're good. So let's do a git commit -am. Well, I'm gonna have to do a status and then a git add of the migration, which is src. We've already seen that. We know what that's like. Version. Yeah, that's good. Then a git commit -am. Updating entity. Fixtures and migration, and adding migration. All right, cool. All right, let's now make the tests. So we'll do make test unit. There we go. So we'll run all the unit tests. Oh, I'll tell you what I should have done actually. Let's kill that a minute. What I should have done, whoops, is should have done this before I did a push. Static analysis. I should have ran PHP stan. Idiot. And also my linter. Man, I should have done all of that before I pushed that up. Never mind. The GitHub actions will tell me if I really ballsed it up. Come on. Tell me everything's fine. Tell me I haven't broken anything. Ah, brilliant. Oh, okay, right. Of course it's gone and checked the existing code. So all of this stuff is probably going to be broken in the unit tests. Right. So none of this is new. As in, none of this is the stuff I've touched at them just now. None of this is like the subscription entity. So we know that there's something that's broken in the command. We know that the security controller is broken, and the paid processor is broken, and the subscription maker is broken. So let's see what we've done, how we've broken, what we've broken on the tests. So we'll just run the unit test for now. Was that a red tick or a red cross? There we go. There was an error. Okay, so 2 errors, And let's run the integration tests. And these will fail because I haven't updated the database stuff. So these will fail miserably. So this is giving me an idea of how big of a change this is. And I really shouldn't change the acceptance tests. So I know that a lot of them will fail. In fact, pretty much the majority of all the ones that require a login and a register would fail because the orders aren't set up as they were. So my ultimate thumbs up that I've fixed everything is that when I run the acceptance tests, it will all pass. This is just integration, and I've just ran the unit tests. After this, I'm going to run the command test. Yeah, I was going to say there was surely something's gone wrong on the subscription. Yep. So let's get back to here a minute. So where we have fix unit tests, we also need to fix integration tests as well. And I will check in a minute, but I believe that I need to fix some command tests. There's some more errors going through there. These tests do take more time than the other tests because these reset the DB each time. So yeah, you can see there's a load of stuff. There's even some broken SQL. All right. Okay, that's going to be fun. Let's test the command. So we can see that there's 8 errors in the integrations. And there appears to be 1, 2 commands that have failed. And I'm not going to run the acceptance tests. I know I would have failed. A lot of them would have failed. I'm not going to run them because that'll be my... It takes ages to run the acceptance tests, and I'll be running them once I've finished. They shouldn't be altered, the acceptance tests. So there's no point in running them yet. So this is fixed command tests. All right. Okay. So I guess the question is, do I do this? Or do I think I might have to do these in tandem. I think I might have to fix some of these, and then I'm certainly going to have to do that before I do the acceptance tests. Definitely. Because the acceptance tests will go into the billing page and look for orders that are associated to subscriptions, that are associated to users, and none of that is wired up yet. Or rewired up yet. I think we'll probably have to fix the unit tests individually and then do the orders. All right. So let's clear this down for a minute. We'll probably have to use SQL later. So let's do make. Now I have an idea of the scale of this. Let's run the units again. Now, time is against me, so we probably won't fix all of this. But I believe it was the integrations that were worse than the units, which is weird. Obviously, I haven't created unit tests for the new code that I've added. Yeah, there's only 2. So this would be on subscription test and user test. Yeah, so let's go back to... Sorry, I'm jumping around again, aren't I? So it was user test, and it was in the entity. And what line was it? Set current line 311. I cannot remember the Mac command for line numbers. It's not that. Anyway, I might be able to just find it by its name, right? So undefined method set current. Okay, there we go. Find. Come on. Set current. There we go. So that should. Oh, it's creating an order item. Yeah, so that can go. This can go. Test subscription. Instantiating a new user, creating a new subscription plan, dealing with the period start and period end, instantiating a new subscription, setting the plan, setting the user subscription. That's what we need to do. So we no longer need to do that. And this is get end date. Get start date, sorry. And that is no longer you. And let's get end date. There we go. All right. What's the next one? This is subscription. It's probably the most important one. Subscription test. Again, I don't know what the command is. Is it? It's not shift. I want to say it's L or something. Is there a way I can look this up? Because this is going to drive me nuts. Key map. Look for line number. Show line numbers. Show line numbers. Path with line numbers. Find action query is. Nope. Go to line. Go to. Nope. Is it spelled go to? Go to line. Navigate. There we go. Command capital L. Shift. No, it's not. Yeah. So it should be. There we go. Sorry. So this is line 52. There we go. Right, so that can go. None of that now. That is subscription. Actually, the whole test of a current can go. That whole test doesn't exist now. All right, let's run the tests again. The unit tests, at least. Runs a bit slow because I've got Xdebug sort of hanging around. I think I fixed the that warning in the main branch, but I haven't obviously merged this in yet, or merged that into this. Hopefully this will pass. Nope. Date time. Oh dear. line 310 of the user. Oh, okay. 310. Get start date, period, start date, period, start date. Why do we not have... Failed asserting that null is identical to object. Why would we... $310 is the one below. Period end. There's something wrong here. Period start. We're cloning the end, the start date, and we're modifying it by a month. And we want that to be the same as this. So have I screwed up in my... It's null by default. Date time, nullable. That looks all wired up properly. How strange, how peculiar. Ugh, I've done it again. There is a command, isn't there? I think, isn't it Command E to get to the latest? Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, so that's the test that we're on, and we want to get to line 310, which we're on. User get subscription, get end date, user period end. Oh, I'm not actually setting it. That's probably why. Ridiculous. That needs to be subscription. I don't believe I'm actually setting it anywhere. Yes, I'm not. What a silly fool. Subscription lol set. I'm not even setting the start date. Let's do that. Period start and subscription set end date, which is period end. Alright, what's going on here? Yeah, that looks fine. Right, can I just test this one little thing? Let's get into bash, and then let's do bin code set run unit -g that. Thank you. That's working now. Sweet. Okay, so I think I fixed the units. So let's come out of this. Let's do git status. Those two files. Let's do a git diff just to make sure we haven't done anything daft, like spell diff wrong. So we removed the current, set current, and we've removed the order item, setting the start dates on that one. Yeah, that's all good. All right, git commit -am fixing tests. Right, before I go further, I want to do make test unit coverage. So this is going to generate unit coverage. I probably need xdebug working for this, to be fair. So, yeah. So I want to see what the coverage is for these units. Let's get into... we're gonna have to delve into the Docker Compose file for this. And that is on doesn't make any sense. We're going to have to change that to be... Is it coverage? I want to say it is. I'm going to have to Google that. PHP, it's unit, mode, coverage. I'm sure that's the right mode for the latest version of coverage. For the latest version of... PHP unit 2021 coverage enabled. Yes, mode is coverage. Yeah, all right. So I think we should be able to just spin up the containers again. So yeah, let's rebuild those with the change, and then we shouldn't have that should have fixed the old warning there, the PHP unit warning. But we should be able to now do test coverage. Off we go. And this is specifically just going to run the unit tests and get the coverage. So it's not going to run the integration tests or the acceptance tests or the command tests or the all the other tests. It's just going to run the unit tests. It's going to look for the coverage, because I want to see what else I haven't tested specifically to the changes of the things that we've done to date, and then I'll add those as tasks. So at the end of this should output a HTML report that I can read. I'm not sure what you mean by, sorry, I haven't been looking at the comments for a while. I don't know what you mean by why do I need PHP, sort of cut the mic boom's in the way, for the shell. I don't understand. Sorry, I'll keep more of an eye on the chat. I could do all of this, you see, in PHP Storm. There is a terminal thing here that I could use, but because I'm streaming, it's making my window an awfully lot smaller. So I prefer to do it in the in here. I've totally forgotten what I was going to do. Oh yeah, running the coverage. Coverage report goes into somewhere. Tests. Support. Generated. No, doesn't go in there. Output. Coverage. Here we go. Dashboard. Let's go to the index instead. Let's load that up. Bring that over. So the unit tests cover 61%, but I'm more interested in the changes that we've made to the entity to subscription. Yeah, that's down. So I need to run some tests on these two. Sorry, I've just had a message on my watch. Yeah, so I'm gonna put in some text. I'm gonna put in a note. I won't do it tonight. I'll put in a note for me to do it. Where's the other window gone? It's not that one. Let's just bring that into the main one. Here we go. It is in somewhere. Where is it? Not that one. Not that one. That one. Edit. So there we go. So we've fixed the unit tests. Was there anything else that I wanted to just adjust the coverage on. Can we order? No, we can't order these. Anything that we've touched, so that's fine. Subscription, I think, was the main one, wasn't it? We've done the user, but that's 100%. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Right, let's work on the integration tests, although I don't know if I've got time. Oh, yeah. So, sorry. The, what is it? So, this is, what is this? This is, iTerm? Is it iTerm? I can't remember whether it's called iTerm or xterm. iTerm, it says it right there, Pete. Come on. You can see it. iTerm 2. This is iTerm 2. I'm not sure if it's available for... no, it is available for Linux. Yeah, it is available for Linux. iTerm 2, it's nice. And it's using the... It's not using Bash. It's using Z shell. So you've got the born again shell, which is Bash, which comes as standard. But I'm using Z shell because it comes with these nice little nifty tools like this. For instance, you can color that, and it will go yellow when it knows that there is things that are uncommitted. So if I did git status now, you can see that that has been modified, and therefore that's yellow. And you've got shebang 1 there, meaning that there's one file that is modified. This asterisk 5 is that there are 5 files that are stashed. If I did git stash list, there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 changes that are stashed. I probably can get rid of them, to be fair. Yeah, and that's yellow because obviously I made a change. If I was to do git commit adding coverage, or let's call that something better, enabling coverage mode in PHP unit. So now you see that's gone to green. So it's a great way for me to visually see, and I'm using OMG shell, OMG ZSH for that. It's like a plugin pack that you can put on. iTerm 2 though is the actual terminal window. Okay, so with the terminal window, you can have various different shells. My shell being Z shell, but you could have other shells if you wanted to. There's loads. But with iTerm 2, one of the things I really like about it is I can do things like that. So I can create loads of different shells within one screen, and I can break them up. So you can see down here we've got one for the SQL, and I can heighten it and change it and stuff. So it's great. I like it a lot. And it's also got some profiles as well, so I can change my profiles. So when I'm working on for a client, I have specific iTerm profiles for specific clients, which allows me to bring in various different, like if I was to start up a certain profile, then things like SSH keys will change. Certain things get exported to the shell to allow me access to certain bits and pieces, and then I switch to another profile, and that all gets removed and replaced by something else, and various different aliases get enabled. That's why I prefer using this to the terminal within here, because I always find that the PHP Storm terminal is a bit limited. It's great if you're working on the file that you're seeing, but it's always a bit, I always find it a little clunky. I know a lot of people love it, but I find it a little bit clunky, but each to their own. Right, I think I'm gonna have to shoot now, because I've gone on quite long, but I think we've got, let me push that up. Fix this subscription. Okay, fine, I'll push that up. It's gonna fail the GitHub Actions, but that's fine. But it means that at least it's gone up. There's a bunch of stuff in here that I can work on. So I know that there's a test that I need to write for you. I fixed the unit tests. I need to then work on these integration tests, the command test and the acceptance test. I also need to fill out the order fixtures, which is probably something I'm gonna have to do later. Certainly need to do that before the acceptance tests. I think let's just reorder these to make it a little bit more obvious as to how I should attack this. We probably need to, without knowing what's going on with the integration tests, let's put it in between, because I definitely know that I'm going to have to do that before the... Actually, I'm going to need to do that before the command tests, aren't I? Because the command tests are failing because there's no orders to process. So, yeah. And therefore, I'm going to need to do that after I've got an order enabled. Yeah, so I think this is kind of the order in which I'm going to approach this. We're going to fix that, or just write a test for that. That shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. Then we're going to fix the integration tests, then create some order fixtures, create an active order for this, which is kind of part of that, to be fair. Let's do active order stroke. Cool. And then fix command tests, and then fix the acceptance tests. Awesome. I think I have a plan. Right, I'm gonna leave it there, and I will be back on Thursday for the podcast. Right, have a great evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers. Bye.